All right. Welcome everyone to episode 16 of the Fanatics, a college football betting podcast. We are in conference championship week already. I think the season's just flown by. I remember recording one of the first episodes of this show. So it's just absolutely flown by, but we got 9 conference championship games this week. We're going to talk every single one of them. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get to it. My name is Kyle Comas, and joining me, we have the CEO of the Coda Sports Gambling Network, Pace Meyer. And we got the host of the Play Me or Fade Me podcast. We got Mr. Action Junkie. Fellas, conference championship week, how we feeling?
Sad. College football season is always the one that flies by, right? Like Kyle mentioned in the intro here. So a little sad, but we're nearing the end of the first year of the 12-team playoffs. So there is hope. That's exciting. So, and last week was a great week, Thanksgiving, and it was another great week. And this week a lot of. I feel like the playoff is kind of determined a little bit, but it's going to be a great week nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. If you didn't watch the bowl game show, Notre Dame snuck its way into the top four in the rankings, which doesn't mean anything because they're not going to be a conference championship winner, but that would put them at a 5 seed, which a lot of people did. I don't know if they really expected them to be that high, but yeah, they impressed last week after just how they've been playing thus far. So kind of surprised me a little bit, but yeah, Notre Dame snuck its way really, really high in the rankings. But Action, how you doing? Is that a North Dakota State Snuggie you got on? You're muted, sir.
Yep, sorry about that. I was telling Pace earlier that my wife has me in a room without heat. So it's a blanket. I'm just wrapped up in a blanket right now. It's not a snuggie, but it's a blanket.
Okay.
Great look for action.
Yeah, yes, great look for me without a doubt.
I was gonna say, who's North Dakota State got this weekend?
Abilene Christian, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. So I think 24 and a half point, 21-24 I saw. So pretty big favorite.
I'd lay the number.
Are they
Correct.
saying lay a pace?
Absolutely. I'm thinking about money line, but yeah, I'll probably lay it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big juice man. I forgot about that. Is that in the Fargo Dome, by the way?
Yep. Yep. So action won't need his blanket there.
I won't need my blanket there. I won't go to any game until the semifinals when they'll host South Dakota State. Hopefully, that's the game I'll get tickets to.
All right. I love it. I love it.
There we go. If I didn't have plans this weekend, I might go boots on the ground pace and join you, but unfortunately I can't do that. But
Yeah, like Action said, this probably isn't the one you want boots on the ground. You wait to the semis, but we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you.
yeah, I need to make another trek up to Fargo again and see you boys. That's always a good time. And then before we get started, I did just want to say a quick thank you to Pace. Pace last week, I was slammed at work. I actually didn't get home till 7:30 at night. So and normally I'm off at 5. And Pace just took the reins, took over, and hosted a really good show. So I just want to just quickly say thank you to Pace for doing that on such short notice.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. It was fun with VFC and PG there, all of us in red. So yeah, it was a great week.
Absolutely. Yep, for sure. But all right, gents. Well, hey, like I said, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, got conference championships to talk about. Let's just get right started with the trivia question of the week. And I got to thinking about this one because I knew Pace would be pulling out the Boise State hat. I just knew that was going to come out. And the Boise State sweatshirt.
Yep. So I'm unfortunately no Boise State pants, but hat and sweatshirt's plenty good.
Absolutely. Yep, for sure. So I got to thinking about this one. So it seems like right now it's a two-horse race for the Heisman between Travis Hunter and Ashton Jeanty. So I got to thinking about this. We all know the only defensive player to win the Heisman, Charles Woodson. So my trivia question for you is, who was the last running back to win the Heisman? The most recent running back to win the Heisman. So I'll give you time to think about it while I do our ad read. The Fanatics College Football Betting Podcast is sponsored by Better Edge. Better Edge is a social betting marketplace that operates like a marketplace. If you're wondering how that works, let me use an example. Let's use the SEC championship game being played this weekend. One person on the platform likes Georgia money line. They put $10 on that line. Another person on the platform likes Texas money line. They put $10 on that line. Boom. You now got an exchange because you're doing person to person, not person to sportsbook. And that's what makes it legal in 48 states now. And a lot of sports books, they're going to really juice the spreads and the over-unders. Excuse me, Better Edge, it's minus 100, plus 100, much higher payback for the user. They also have competitions such as Battle Royale, Survivor, Chaser, and a lot of things to keep the users competitive. So it's not just making bets. There's a lot of contests as well. And they also incorporate social media. So you can go on the platform, share your picks with your timeline, and people on the platform can fade you to create an order or ride with you and hope another order gets added. But we love Better Edge here at the network. Go to their website, www.betteredge.com. Use promo code Kyle, Pace, or Play Me. Any of those promo codes, you'll get $20 added to your account. www.betteredge.com. So, gents, my trivia question for you is who is the last running back, the most recent running back, to win the Heisman? Any of you guys confident enough to go first? Pace?
Um, Action's shaking his head. No, I mean I'll go first. I don't know if this is right. I'm terrible at trivia. Everybody knows that, but I know we've had a string of quarterbacks, then we had a wide receiver in there as well. So, this guy's in his 30s, I think, but I'll go Derrick Henry.
Okay. Sounds good. And Action, who do you think it is?
I want to now go Derrick Henry. I was just going to go Reggie Bush because I still see him on the commercials for the Heisman, and we talk about him all the time. But yeah, Derrick Henry would be more recent than Reggie Bush, and I do know he won the Heisman, so I'll go Derrick Henry as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, fun fact for you. This goes back to the 2010s. There was only one non-QB that won the Heisman in 2010s, and it was in 2015, and it was Derrick Henry.
Nice. Let's go. Hot start here. Okay. All
And
right.
then,
Yeah, there's been a run of quarterbacks, and what Devontae Smith, wide receiver, right? He won it.
mhm.
Yeah, interesting. That's
And
a
then I
long time.
think before the last non-QB before Henry was Mark Ingram
Okay.
in '09.
Oh,
So,
nine. Okay. All right.
yep,
Another Bama running back, huh?
Yeah.
yep.
That makes sense.
There's some people at the network who are adamant that Toby Gerhart should have won the Heisman. I'll let you figure out which people that is, but there are people at the network who are pretty adamant about that.
When was that? 2009, you said?
Yeah.
All right. Some of them were real young then, still, I think.
Yep. So it's not a younger capper, I'll give you that. If you can think of an older Coda capper, that's who it would be.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So,
Good
all right,
question.
gents. Well, hey, before we get started talking about conference championships, let's just really quick talk about rivalry week. A lot of great games happen on rivalry week. I did have boots on the ground in Iowa City, so I'm definitely going to talk about that. Boy, oh boy, was that a cold game. Oh my gosh, I had sweatpants, long johns. I had a double layered jacket and a hat, gloves, and I still was freezing my butt off. But it was a cold one. But I tell you what, it was cold and we fought through the elements, but there is nothing sweeter than getting a victory over those bastards. Man, oh man, did that feel good. We got five total first downs that whole game. Nebraska outgained us by 200 yards, and they still lost the goddamn game. Boy, oh boy, did that feel good? And I'm glad, and I'm kind of disappointed Corey's not on the show, so I could rub it in his face. But I tell you what, that felt great to be at that game.
So, Kyle, I got a question. When it's that cold out, and congrats on the win, by the way. And when it's that cold, are you like drinking like beers or anything, or flowing anything like that, or you're just focused on the game and you're just trying to stay warm?
Well, a couple years ago, Iowa City first started to sell beer in the stadium, so I'm still drinking at the stadiums. But I tell you what, as much as the beer tasted good, that hot chocolate was tempting.
Yeah, absolutely. Or coffee,
Yeah, but or coffee. I'm not a tea guy, but if you like tea, I'm sure they had that too. But no, I was drinking beer, but the hot chocolate was very tempting.
And how far of a drive was that for you? Like, did you guys tailgate and all that stuff go up the night before? How did that go down?
Yep. So it's a five. So basically, Sioux City's on the complete western side of Iowa. Iowa City's on the complete eastern side of Iowa. So you got to go all the way across the state. It takes about 5 hours to get there. But we had some family down there, and they actually had a tent that was heated. So we
Nice,
tailgated there. So that was really nice.
nice. Yep. Veteran move there.
Yep. These guys have tailgated before, that's for sure. So yeah, so no, that was a great win. I will give Nebraska their props too. I do see Raiola being a good QB. I wouldn't say he's the best QB in the country, as some people at the network might have said. I'm not going to say names, but I think he's due to be really, really good. Just unfortunately had a couple errors that cost him the game there. But I do see a big future for Nebraska if Raiola stays.
Yeah, and I think we've seen that all year. Just young quarterback, and going through some ups and downs. So I think he'll be fine. So
Yep. Yep, absolutely. So yeah, so I was boots on the ground for that game. I try to go to a game once a year, and yeah, that was a good one to go to. But Pace, what about you? What really stood out to you during rivalry week?
Yeah, if we had like a buy or sell segment of the show here, I'm selling overtimes. I'm selling overtimes. The 8 overtime game, Georgia Tech, Georgia. I'm a big fan of free sports, of free football, extra football, all that stuff. But man, I'll tell you what, these 2 point conversions, they miss it. It takes 30 seconds, less than that to run a play. Now you're at commercial break. They're going to the other side, right? It was frustrating from that standpoint. You just want to watch the game, right? You're barely watching any football. You're watching commercial, commercial, commercial. So I'm selling overtimes. I think you somehow got to fix it. Just play a quarter of football, extra football, and if it's still tied, and I know injuries, they're worried about that and all that stuff, but just go to the second overtime, make it 10 minutes or whatever. Just lower the time. But these 2 point conversions, not my thing in overtime. Great game, right? I stayed up and watched it all. I mean, loved it. But free football is always awesome. But these commercials and these 2 point conversions, just not my thing. So I'm selling overtimes here.
No, I mean it's so stupid. Games should not be decided off of 2 point conversions. We need to continue have possessions. They did it, I'm pretty sure, just to kind of lessen the length time of games, which is why they did that. But I'm with you, Pace. I stand on the fact that games need to be decided possession by possession, not 2 point conversion by 2 point conversion.
Yep, 100%. And I know they wouldn't do this either in action. I see he's got a point, but it'd be kind of cool, like the kickers, right? Kickers get so much heat in college football. On game day, you see, people getting taken out of the crowd to hit a kick. Start at the 20, 25, whatever, and just move back. I know that would never happen, but that'd be kind of entertaining as well. Better than the 2 point conversion in my mind.
Absolutely. Action, do you have a point on that?
Well, I was with a group of people and we were like, we never knew that you could have a timeout every overtime. So Kirby Smart taking the
Yep.
timeout before every defensive play was just driving us crazy, to your point, Pace. And just keep playing at one side of the field, even
Yeah.
if you're going to do it, just keep playing at one side of the field. We should not have it taking 45 minutes. And it's a non-playoff game, right? So if you play an extra 15 minutes and you're tied, we can have a tie still, right? I mean, I would be much better with a tie than playing the gimmicky 8 overtimes with 2 point conversions. But at the same point, I criticize Georgia Tech for not going for two.
Hmm.
I believe it was either in the first or the second overtime. It's like, hey, you're the underdog. Go for two. Go for the win here. Don't keep playing the 2 point. Don't play the 2 point conversion game coming up. That would be a criticism I had there. But entertainment standpoint, it was there. It was just like you said. It highlighted how frustrating the process can be. But I'd rather watch that than what we saw with Penn State and what Illinois a few years back, where neither team
Yeah.
could score for about 2 hours.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
I forgot about that because I actually we were at Pace's wedding
That's right.
during that
That's
during
right.
that game, and I'm pretty sure I had the over in that game. It went 8 OTs, and the under hit. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, that's right. Pumba was talking about that earlier this week. So, Action mentioned, criticizing there for not going for the 2 point conversion. Cristobal not kicking the field goal, not going for a touchdown against Syracuse too. I thought that was a pretty boneheaded mistake as well, and they cost Miami probably a playoff spot. So, yeah, a fun weekend. And obviously, we didn't even talk about the big one, right? My lock hit. I had Texas. I thought that was going to be an easy win. I wouldn't say it was easy, but game was won in the first half, really, and they didn't score a point in the second half there. So, yeah, finally got a lock. Love to hear that. And then Ohio State, Michigan. Too bad VFC ain't here because I really wanted to hear what he was going to say about this game.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think he did it in the group chat, but I think the people not in the group chat would like to hear his thoughts for sure. So
Yeah. I saw too, Michigan, what, plus 900 on the money line. I saw someone had him plus 1100 on the money line. Like, I should have just taken that. Like, 4 straight times now, right around Christmas time, get the presents for the kid, just make it all on Michigan. Like, as a better, like I feel dumb not doing that, but it's like I don't know. I just didn't think I thought Ohio State was going to blow them out. I really did.
did you Action, you might not pay attention to Barstool very much, but I know Pace does. Pace, did you see the rundown with Dave Portnoy with Big Ev and Ohio State?
No, I
Just
I
talking
didn't see
about
that.
Michigan. You need to watch that. That is hilarious because it's just a Michigan fan, two Ohio State fans, and he's just going off. Oh, it's great.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I also want to mention I had Colorado, Oklahoma State had the over there. 52 rip. over did not hit. I was cheering so hard there on Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving. I thought Colorado could get the over. I think it was what 62 and a half. Just needed 10 more points. But man, Oklahoma State, what a terrible year. I was kind of big on them coming in the year. And man, that running back, Ollie Gordon, he really hasn't been much. Obviously, the quarterback as well. I think he got benched a couple of games ago about for a freshman. So 0-9 in the Big 12, Oklahoma State. Just disappointing there. So
for Mike Gundy, who hadn't had a losing season since his first year there.
crazy.
I mean, to have a complete collapse was just crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Action, what about you? Anything really stand out to you with rivalry week?
No, I think you hit on everything. Obviously, Minnesota got the axe against Wisconsin. Got to see our FCS quarterback transfer, was the #1 quarterback in the nation in Week 14. So I really wish we could have had him for multiple years instead of a one-year rental quarterback. But yeah, nice win, obviously, for my Gophers. USC, your former coach, Lincoln Riley, my goodness, a 6-6 season again. I think he should be looking for some coordinator jobs.
Yeah.
USC too. What two? Did they throw 2 pick sixes? I saw on some highlights. That was crazy. And
Yeah.
one of them I think was like a 96, 97 yarder. So yeah,
I had USC +7, so yes, I witnessed that. Yep.
This was a week of bad beats for you, Action.
I had the Browns last night with 2 pick sixes, and I had the Falcons on Sunday with a pick six and Cousins throwing 4 interceptions. It was I got pick sixed all over the place. It was nothing but pick sixes.
Oh, that's great.
I should go bet some horse racing because the pick six is going to hit for me.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, no, great rivalry week, and I'm excited for conference championship week. We got 9 conference championship games this week, and I'm just excited to talk about it. So let's just get right to it. We're going to cover all 9 games. First game for conference championship is in the Conference USA, and if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that Liberty would not be in the Conference USA championship, I would have said you were crazy. Talk about a down year for a team that had who many people thought would be undefeated and maybe be in the playoff, and they go 7-5 this season. Very, very disappointing season for Liberty.
Quick question on the Liberty, since you brought it up. How is Jamie Chadwell then the front runner at West Virginia or UCF? He's being rumored as the hottest coaching candidate out there from the group of 6 schools. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's not what they did this year, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anywho, so that game's gonna be played at 6:00 on CBS Sports Network. It's gonna be Western Kentucky against Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State -3.5, over under at 58. I like both these offenses. I think both these offenses all season long have been very respectable and have scored a lot of points here. I'm not too sure on a side per se, but I do think a lot of points are going to be scored for the game. I can see both these teams being in the 30s, so I'm going to take the over at 58, and that's going to be my play.
These 2 teams just played too, I think, right? Not that long ago, and Western Kentucky won 19-17. It was kind of Western Kentucky throwing the football, Jacksonville State running the football there. So I don't know. I kind of always think when you have a matchup this close, especially I think of this in like the NBA or NHL stuff like that when I'm betting. But I'm gonna take the team that lost. So I'm gonna take Jacksonville State here and kind of go that route with this play.
Okay, very good. Action, any play on this one?
Same exact reason. I had money on Western Kentucky last week, actually cash. They hit that last second field goal to get that one home for me. But I'm going to flip the script. Jacksonville State gets to host the championship game. They were already in the game no matter what, where Western Kentucky was playing for the right to get into the game. So last week meant a whole lot more to Western Kentucky. This week, I think the Gamecocks get it done, and I'll take Jacksonville State minus the points.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, let's go to the American Championship at Friday at 7:00 on ABC with Tulane and Army. Tulane -4.5 and over under a 45.5. I started last time. Action, what do you got for this game?
I think everyone else is going to be on Tulane in the world, and I'm going to take Army. That's just bottom line. It's at Army at West Point here. So they're the home team, I believe, in this one. They're getting 5.5. Army's disappointed me quite a bit here lately. But I still think that Army's got a little bit left in the tank. Now, could be a look ahead, I guess, for them technically to Navy next week. But yeah, I think that loss to Notre Dame is still stinging a little bit, and I do expect a little better effort here. So I'm going to grab the points. Yeah, let's go Army.
Okay. Pace, what about you?
Yeah, I kind of like the under here. Liked it earlier in the week, opened up at 40 and a half. It's now 45 and a half, so that worries me a little bit, but I'll still take the under here. You look at Tulane, just gave up 24 and scored, 34, scored 24 to Memphis there. Their defense has been pretty solid the last few weeks. Again, gave up 0 to Navy, 6 to Temple, 3 to Charlotte. Again, not great teams there. But on the flip side, you got an Army team who doesn't seem to score a ton, at least lately, and the defense looks pretty good there. So a little worried about the drop of 3 points there in the total, but I want to take the under here, 45 and a half.
Okay. Yep, I actually like that play. I am going to go opposite of action. I'm going to lay the points with Tulane here. The reason I do that is if Boise State loses their conference championship game, I do believe that the winner of the American is most likely going to be the team that represents the group of five. I don't think a two-loss Boise State would get in over an American champion. That's my opinion. Maybe you guys disagree with me, but I think Tulane could maybe sneak their way in if Boise State loses. So I'm going to take Tulane minus the 4.5. I think they're going to have that motivation. Army had a great season, way better season than most of us on this panel probably expected them to have. But I do think they lose this one. I'm gonna lay the points with Tulane.
I see what you're saying there with Tulane kind of trying to jump into that final spot there, Kyle. But I do think it'd be hard if Boise does lose. I think it sets up UNLV to just at the number 20 spot to slide in there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, who
It
knows?
was
Action.
No, I was just going to say the Green Wave had a really big game last week against Memphis, and they fumbled it. So I'm not 100% sold on the Green Wave right now, and I
Yeah,
definitely wouldn't want to see them in the playoffs, even if they were to win and Boise were to lose. I would hope that doesn't happen.
yeah. Memphis is a team that disappoint. They got 10 wins, so I can't be mad at them for that. But I thought for sure they were a shoo-in to be the group of five team. So still great win, but yeah, disappointing. But and then the final conference championship being played on Friday, we got the Mountain West Championship, UNLV and Boise State, 7 o'clock on Fox. Boise State -4, over on 58 and a half. I think I already know the direction you're going to go here, but Pace, start us off.
Actually, you might not. I know I am head to toe, well, not head to toe, but head to waist in Boise State gear. But this is an emotional hedge for me. So don't listen to me unless you have a Boise State future to make the playoffs. I'm hammering UNLV. I'm hammering UNLV, and just kind of gonna go that route again. Emotional hedge for me. If Boise State wins, they're in the playoff, and I make some money for them. A nice little price on that for them to make the playoff. If they lose, I'm gonna make money on UNLV. So again, don't listen to me. Listen to Action or Kyle. It's emotional hedge.
Okay, sounds good. Action, what are your thoughts on this game?
I really don't want to touch it. At 4, I'm going to probably grab the points with UNLV. Yeah, I think that's where I'd go. I'm also tempted by the under. The first meeting this year was what, 29-24 UNLV won, or excuse me, Boise won at UNLV. So maybe it's a flip the script situation, but yeah, something also tells me to go the under here. The total the first time around was 64. This time, obviously, outdoor conditions at Boise, 58 and a half. I'll take that back. I'm going to lean under instead of UNLV. That way I don't have to cheer completely against Pace.
I mean, you've been cheering against them all season when it comes to the Gene.
It hasn't worked though, so I'm going to try something different this week.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'm torn. I'm torn. I'm torn on the spread here. I want to bet Boise just for the fact that, as we all know, Colorado not in the Big 12 championship game, so Travis Hunter's done until the bowl season. But Ginty has another opportunity to get the Heisman people's attention. He has an opportunity to get their attention. The only problem is UNLV is one of the best rush defenses in college football, so I'm nervous about that. I believe they held Ginty to little more than 100 yards, I think, the last time these
128,
two
128.
128, yeah. And I think he had like at least 30 carries, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 33, 3.9 average, one score,
Yeah.
along of 16.
Yep. So I'm not going to touch the spread because I could see it go either way, but I will side with action though. I do think the under happens in this game. I think it's going to be a lot of longer possessions. I think they're going to Boise State's still going to try to give GT the ball, going to try to get him to get that Heisman, but when you run the ball, tick, 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 tick. So I think it's just gonna be longer possession. So I'm gonna go with you as action as well. I'm gonna take the under in this game.
Yeah, it all comes down to, can Boise stop the UNLV quarterback? He sliced and diced them up last time in that loss. So if the defense can slow him down, I think this is a game Boise should at least win. -4, a little fishy. -3, I like. -2.5, even better. But if you like the juice, Boise money line. But don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
That's right. Emotional hedge. Emotional
Yes.
hedge.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, let's go to the Saturday games. Let's start at 11 o'clock on ESPN. We get the MAC championship, Ohio taking on Miami, Ohio. At 11 o'clock on ESPN. Line right now, Miami, Ohio, -2.5, over under 44.5. Really quick before we talk about this game, did you guys see the MAC tweeted out like, "Hey, Ohio State fans, if you want to cheer for a conference-winning Ohio team, watch the MAC championship"?
I did not
That's
see
pretty
that.
good right there.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny, but irregardless, I was down on Miami, Ohio at the beginning of the season. They lost three out of conference games. Didn't know how good they'd be. They are dominating in conference though. They're 7-1 in the conference this year. Gabbert's playing a lot better than he did at the beginning of the season. And I think that Ohio played well thus far, but I think they're going to kind of run into a buzzsaw of Miami, Ohio's defense, one of the best defenses in college football. I think they can win by a field goal here, so I am going to take Miami, Ohio -2.5. What about you, Pace? What are you going with?
I think I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna take the short dog here. I'm gonna take the Ohio Bobcats. They threw two picks in their last game against Miami of Ohio. So again, limit the turnovers. Should be a closer game, but yeah, not a great play for me. I'll just take the underdog in this one.
Okay. Action, what about you?
I'm a stay away, so I'm actually going to probably bet the first half under. First meeting was what, 30-20 was the score, went over. Have a feeling this will be kind of a feel them out first half. I'm staying away from Ohio, just in part because I've been reading that their coach has been interviewing everywhere. He was obviously named the MAC Coach of the Year for good reason, because biggest argument is, hey, his starting quarterback is at Indiana this year, and he's still in the conference championship game. So he's a hot commodity, and I just always fear the coaches in that situation when he's been on a lot of private planes getting flown around for interviews. So I'm going to stay away from the Bobcats, and if I had to lean, I guess I'd go Miami of Ohio, but I'll go the under here, first half under on this game.
Okay. Sounds good. And before we go, just a sidebar for a second. Oh my God. I know Purdue's bad, but my God, did Indiana just slap them this weekend?
Yeah, that was free money. That was free money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I had Indiana on the spread. I think I was confident in cash by the third quarter.
They doubled them up. Yeah, doubled them up. What, 66 rip was the spread? What'd you get it at? -30, -28.5?
30, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was actually campaigning for them to kick the onside kick with about 2 minutes to go to try to make it 73 to rip. But,
Yeah.
they just kicked it outright. I don't know why they didn't go onside kick. We got to run up the numbers for these polls.
Yeah, Action had the alt over there. It could have hit.
Yeah, it could have hit.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go to the Big 12 championship at 11 o'clock on ABC. Iowa State and Arizona State. The Big 12 championship, probably not many people would have guessed, but irregardless, Arizona State favored by 2.5, over under 51. Um, as an Iowa guy, Iowa State has always been little brother to Iowa. It's just facts. Look at the record. They beat us this year. Yeah, yeah, great. But Iowa State, I don't believe, has won a Big 12 championship in football. I don't believe. But this team, a lot of people didn't know how good this team would be after their quarterback left after the whole gambling thing. Rocco Becht is playing very good football this year. Jalen Noel and Higgins have been great 1-2 wide receivers. Their defense is one of the best in college football. If there's any team that's going to have the motivation, it's going to be Iowa. It's going to be Iowa State. I know Arizona State, they're going to have that motivation. We were picked last. We might win the conference championship. Iowa State has been in this conference since its inception, and they are going to win this conference in this one. As a Hawkeye fan, that kills me to say, but I am going to take Iowa State plus the 2.5. I'm also going to take them money line. I think they win this game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Kyle. it's been a party all season long in Tempe for this Arizona State squad. So I just think kind of the magic's run out, and you can't have a former Pac-12 team win the Big 12 here. So give me Iowa State, and I think they win this one. So I'll take the money line as well.
Okay. Action, what about you?
Unfortunately, I don't know if this is good or bad, but we got the trifecta here. I was all in on the Cyclones. I am, yeah. This is Lock City, baby.
So that means hammer Arizona State is what that means.
Well, I mean that could be very well the case, but definitely I'm playing the Cyclones.
You know how do you know how group sends work for the Coda Cappers action by chance? I know you've been with the network not very long, but the Coda Cappers group sends normally don't go too well.
I might be living through that on a Presbyterian wager tonight. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I also
Thank you for that action. Appreciate that.
I also want to mention here too, Arizona State just whooped their rival Arizona 49-7. I mean, they got to be feeling so good coming in this game. So I just think it's a great spot for Iowa State.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to the 3 o'clock SEC championship game on ABC. Georgia taking on Texas. Texas favored by 2.5, over under 49.5. Pace, we'll start with you with this one. What do you think about this game?
Texas, it's a lock for me. It's my lock of the week. Give me Texas. I've been riding them. I've been high on them. I love the defense. I don't believe in Carson Beck. I know he had a tremendous game. What was that? UMass. It wasn't defensively they didn't play great, but Carson Beck played pretty well. So, give me Texas. I just think they're the better team, better defense. This is Texas all the way for me.
Okay, sounds good. Action. What about you?
First meeting, I was all in on Georgia. I got to cash that ticket. Georgia obviously coming off the 8 overtime marathon against Georgia Tech. Hook 'em horns. I have Texas in this game. I'm all about Texas.
Okay, sounds good. Well, here's the thing, fellas. So I was gonna come in and say, how bad Carson Beck has played lately, and how just how poor Georgia's looked in their last few games. Dang near lost that game against Georgia Tech. Texas has been playing a lot better. Besides that game for Georgia, they're going to have revenge on their mind. Give me Texas. But then I saw you two were betting on Texas, and I'm going to save a double group send here, and I'm going to take Georgia plus the 2.5.
Thank you.
Taking one for the team. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you for the winner. Thank you for the winner. We
Yep.
had that Auburn, Texas A&M game. What was it? 4 overtimes. Texas A&M came out the next week against Texas, right? And they scored 7 points. So I don't know, maybe Georgia team total under, first half under, something like that. So this could be a battle in the first half, kind of like what Ash was saying earlier in one of the games. Trying to figure each other out, even though they played, trying to figure out just a little slower first half in my mind.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, let's go to our night conference championship games. The last group of 5 won the Sun Belt championship game between Marshall and Louisiana Lafayette at 6:30 on ESPN. Lafayette favored by 5.5, over under 56.5. Action, we'll start with you on this one.
I am going to go with Marshall plus the points here. Not a strong read on this game in any way, shape, or form, but yeah, I'll grab the points here because to me, this line's a little bit heavy.
Okay, sounds good. I was going to take Lafayette just for the fact that I have them on our team draft, and I want to get that extra point. But both these offenses have been killing it as of late. They've scored 30 plus in a lot of their recent games this season. Over under 56.5. I think that's low, so I'm going to take the over 56.5 in this one.
Yeah, this is Marshall's third road game. The last 2 road games they've played, it was Old Dominion. They won by 1 score. They just took James Madison to double overtime, got the win. Give me Louisiana here at home to cover this number.
Okay, we got a mixed panel here for this game, so I like that. After agreeing, it's good to have a mixed panel.
I'm definitely a lean on that game. It's not a strong play for me, though.
Sure. Yep, absolutely. Okay, let's go to the ACC Championship on 7 o'clock on ABC between Clemson and SMU. SMU favored by 2.5, over under 56.5. Boys, I tell you what, SMU, since they have benched Preston Stone, they have been lights out thus far this year. Clemson shouldn't even be in this damn game. If like Pace said, if Miami kicks that damn field goal, they would be in the championship. I might have a different play on it. Clemson does not belong in this game. SMU has been the best team in the ACC. They deserve the first round bye, and they are going to beat that douchebag Dabo Swinney in the ACC championship. I am all over SMU in this game.
All right. I'm all over Clemson. Give me Clemson
Okay.
here. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say that. You go to Ohio State and Indiana. We talked about how there's levels to this stuff, right? There's levels to this stuff. SMU, I'm not comparing them to Indiana. I don't want to compare Clemson to Ohio State, but I think there's levels to this, and I think it's Clemson off the loss. Give me Clemson as a dog.
Okay. And Action, what about you?
Last minute research here. Just give me 2 seconds. My buddy Toby says SMU buy stock right now. They could win the whole thing. But I keep looking at one stat line, and they played the 63rd ranked schedule. And who exactly did SMU beat this year? I mean, what's their big calling card victory this year? Tell me that.
Louisville.
Louisville on the road, I guess, right? I mean, that's it. I mean, other than that was cupcake central. I'm actually going to side with Pace here. Clemson and Dabo have been down this road quite a few times. And I think, maybe he sold me because let's face it, I respect a ton out of South Carolina. And I thought Clemson, had South Carolina last week and they let it slip away late. I think Clemson's a whole lot closer than we're giving them credit for. And I'm going to grab the points here with Clemson. I think it'll be a tight football game. And I think Clemson finds a way to win it in the end. And as Dabo said, hey, they were the first 15-0 team. Maybe they'll be the first 3-loss win team to win a national championship.
True.
Yep.
Yeah.
My future on Clemson, I'd love that, to win it all. I would love that so much. So
I didn't realize you had
SMU.
a future.
Yeah, SMU. I mean, I know it was the first game of the year, and I know it was on the road, but they only beat Nevada 29-24. Nevada's 3-10 this year. Again, I know it was first game of the year, but to Action's point, who have they beat? Louisville? Okay, other than that, who? So.
Yeah. Nope, that's very fair. So I'll be on an island for this game. That's all right.
You were very passionate though, so you deserve to be. You deserve this if it wins.
I don't think he's a Dabo fan though. I did pick that up. I wrote that down. No Dabo fan.
I'd be surprised if there's anybody on this panel that's a Dabo fan. How can you like that, man, if you're not a Clemson fan? Anywho. Final conference championship game, 7:00 on CBS, the Big Ten championship between Penn State and Oregon. Line right now, Oregon -3.5, over under 49.5. I'll go first with this one. I don't think this is going to be a popular pick, just for the fact that I know the group's vibes and I know how they feel about a certain team. But Penn State's played really well lately. I know they struggled at first with Maryland, but they bounced back right away. They actually held it really, really close in their lone loss to Ohio State this year. I know Oregon's undefeated, but I think this game's going to be close. I think it goes down to a field goal. I think Penn State could win it here. I like their offense thus far. Their defense has played well as well. Can't discount what Dylan Gabriel has done with Oregon, the undefeated season they have thus far. I cannot discount that. But this is going to be an unpopular pick, but I am going to take Penn State plus 3.5.
All right. How many undefeated teams are there in college football? Is it just one?
Yes.
I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Okay, so we can't have that. Going in the 12-team playoff, we can't have that. So I'm on Penn State. I'm on Penn State here.
Okay, sounds good. And Action, what about you?
Hey, I get to be on the island this time. I will take Oregon -15 at a plus 308.
Ooh.
That's as high as it'll let me go on the scale. If it would let me slide it over for a bigger alternate number, I would take it. But they stopped me at 15. So if you can find me more than 15, I would take it. The history of Big Ten title games, we have a lot of lopsided games, and I think this is going to be one of them. I think the Ducks are going to be quacking, and Penn State finally gets exposed for the fraud they've been all year.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. So yeah, we got a split panel on a lot of these games. We do got us agreeing on quite a few of them too. So
what book was that, Action, for that alt line?
I was just moving the throttle over on DraftKings for you for a moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll keep searching as the week goes on, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Bovada might have something even deeper, maybe. I don't know. So,
Yeah, I'll take up to 21. I have no problem with that.
ooh, okay, okay.
Oh, so
I'm
I
either
was
going
just
to be either you guys are right about Penn State, and then we are going to have that really tight football game, and then at that point, Penn State may win the thing. Or I think this is a 3 touchdown game.
so action. You on Play Me or Fade Me are very conservative, and I respect that about you. You're very
Yep.
conservative. Better. Are you willing on this show to admit? Would you be willing to put Penn State alt spread on Play Me or Fade Me your card?
I will not do that on the podcast version. No, no,
Okay.
no. I would not do that on the podcast version.
Okay.
We save crazy things like that for YouTube.
Okay. Fair enough. And Play Me or Fade Me gets about 1,000 times more views than the Fanatics too. So,
Uh, good
all
place
right.
for it, YouTube.
Yep, that's right. Yep. If you want to see crazy action, you come to YouTube. If you want to see calm
Yeah,
action, you go to Play Me or Fade Me.
that's exactly it. I'll make more crazy comments here.
That's right.
This is the unedited version. It's the raw version.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, gents. Well, let's round out the show with upset of the week and lock of the week. Upset of the week, normally how we do it is it has to be at least 7 point underdogs. I don't believe. Yeah, there wasn't a 7 point underdog, period, in
Nope.
these conference championships. So any underdog will do. So the underdog to beat the team outright in the conference championship is what our upset of the week is going to be. But Pace, we'll start with you. Who do you got?
Yeah, it's Clemson for me. I think they take care of business against SMU and get it done and get into the college football playoff and continue to ride for a national championship. So I'm taking Clemson here.
Okay, sounds good. Action. What about you?
I'll go Iowa State.
We'll double that. I'm also taking Iowa State. I think they win this game outright. So I like what they've been doing, and I think they're hungry since they've been in the Big 12, never won a Big 12 championship. I think this is their year. So I'm going Iowa State. All right, gentlemen, and then finally to round up the show, the lock of the week. Lock of the week, very, very simple. If the lock hits, you get a win. If it doesn't, you get a loss. It's as easy as that. So let's go through our locks of the week. Action, we'll start with you with your lock. I think I know what it's going to be, but your lock of the week.
Well, if I want to do the alternate spread, I better go with the Ducks of Oregon.
Okay, sounds good. I really like all the plays this time, but if I'm gonna fade you guys a bit, I might as well get a little bit more off of it. I'm gonna take Georgia plus 2.5 as my lock of the week.
Ooh, we got a lock off. Got a lock off.
Ooh,
There we go.
the first this year, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Texas. It's Texas for me. So that's the lock, and that's the lock off. There we go.
Okay, lock off first time this year. We'll see. We'll
That's
see how
crazy,
that
actually.
goes.
First time, huh?
Yeah,
I felt like last year we had a lot more lock offs.
we did.
Yeah.
And then when we did the bi-weekly shows where we had two different crews, we always had lockoffs with those because there was like 12 of us.
Yep, for sure. Since this is the crazy YouTube show, why not try and pick a winner in every single game? If you're trying to throw a parlay, you might as well do it this week. 9 games, see what you can do. Money line, whatever you want to do. So I might do something crazy like that. Again, this is the crazy YouTube show. So
Okay. I mean, do we want to just want to go down every single game and just say just the winner?
yeah, we can do that. So I got UNLV, I have Jacksonville State, I have Army, I have Iowa State, I have Ohio, I have Texas, I have Louisiana, I have Penn State, and I have Clemson.
Okay.
There we go.
I'll let action look really quick since I just thought about that. I got Western Kentucky, Tulane, Boise State, Miami, Ohio, Iowa State, Georgia, Louisiana, SMU, Penn State. Action, what do you got?
Jacksonville State. You know, I'm going to say UNLV wins outright. I did pick Army plus the points, but I'll go Tulane to win the football game. Iowa State, Miami of Ohio, Texas. I'll take Louisiana to win the football game. Oregon and Clemson.
All right.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, maybe we'll put those parlays together and we'll see how we do.
I'll tweet out a graphic for that. That'll be fun.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so gentlemen, that was a lot of fun. I love the fact that we get to talk conference championship week. We will be off next week for Army Navy. Just so it's kind of every single year we've done this show. It's been our week off. But really quick, I'm gonna put you guys in the spot. Army Navy, I got to pick them right now. Who you guys got?
Um, for me, it kind of depends what happens here with Army. But I'd lean Army.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I think I'm the same way. Navy's very impressed this year. I don't know if many people have them at 8-3, but yeah, I'm gonna go Army as well.
If Army loses, Army. If Army wins, give me Navy.
There we go. Yep, that's the play.
Yeah. Sounds good. Well, gentlemen, that was great talking with you. We will see you in a couple weeks for our bowl show. So stay tuned for that. But yep.
I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. Under. I want Army Navy under. I don't even need to know. Just give me the under. I
There we
forgot
go.
about that.
There
It's
we go.
38.5. That seems high for Army Navy.
That might be the highest in a decade. I mean, that well, until last year, didn't it go under like how many straight years? Over a decade?
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a long stretch, I believe, to the under. So that's a big number for these two.
We don't win many group sends at the Dakota Sports Gambling Network, but I'm pretty sure we group sent that over, and that was like one of the few group sends that we actually won.
Well, get ready to send it the under this year.
Yep, the other way. Yep.
Absolutely. But gentlemen, good talking with you. We will get VFC back for the bowl show, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And we will see you guys in a couple weeks as we recap the conference championship games, and then we get right started with bowl games.
Right on. All right, guys. Best of luck.
Yep. See you, fellas.